Hey yo,
Yo,
hey
uh,
yo.
rest in peace, Scott Hall.
Rest in peace, Mr. Hall. He was one
Uh,
of my favorites growing up. Welcome to the Mark and JD podcast. Here, episode 74. It's a lot. It's a big
that-
number.
that's a big
It's a
number.
big number.
A lot.
Um,
All right, well, it's time to end it.
yep.
It's fun.
74 episodes. We're
Were,
we're only a 2,000 behind Raw, right? How many
were you
episodes they
told
had?
too many? They've been on for like consecutively for what, 30
For
or
almost
40
30
years,
years. Yeah.
yeah, something like that.
I
Um,
remember Scott Hall, and I bring it up because Scott Hall just unfortunately passed away. It seemed like he was doing good. Accidents happen, shit happens, He was what I think made Raw a big deal when he lost to 123 Kid, who was Lightning Kid, I think, at the time.
no, it might have been 1, 2, 3 Kid. I don't remember.
No, he wasn't
You
the
talk.
123 Kid because after he beat Razor 123, he became the 123
Ah,
Kid. And that happened on Raw. And that made it like, shit, you got to watch this. Anything can happen on
true.
WWE Raw. It was a big deal. I mean, most people don't understand, like, wrestling on TV back in the day, 30 years ago, there wasn't Raw. Raw's basically Monday, and you got NXT, and you got SmackDown, you got AEW. There's so much on. You had like Superstars, which was like syndicated, so it wasn't on a consistent time. And you had WCW Saturday night when we were growing our age.
Mhm.
Those are like
Yeah,
the big ones. Saturday night main event every once in a while, and the pay-per-views. That's what you had.
yeah. It's he was part of the clique, the Shawn Michaels, Kevin Nash, even the Hulk Hogan at that point. The NWO, that whole fucking spiel. He was there. He was a
He was the
groundbreaking.
first. He was the
Yeah,
first that left
he was the
the
ground. He's
league.
like a groundbreaking character. Razor Ramon wasn't per se, but he was the bad guy, man. He was
My
the
favorite story about that was it's totally a ripoff of Pacino and Scarface.
well, yeah. Even
But
the
Vince
accent.
McMahon had never seen Scarface, so he's like, "Where'd you come up with that?"
I mean, he had like he's almost like a Cuban. I don't even know how to describe it, but he was like just a
He
Cuban
had
bad
the
guy.
machismo.
Yeah, he was full hairy, weirdly hairy wrestler for the time because they
He
weren't
was.
like
I
that.
mean, I think it was the era because '90s just featured a lot more bigger guys wrestling.
Mhm.
They were just jacked. Scott Hall was fucking jacked. He was a huge dude.
He was just big in general. He was always
He
they
just,
were always
but
like
he,
the outsiders. They were always tall.
but against like going up against Hogan or Goldberg or Nash, he wasn't as big as them. Sometimes like it just made him seem not like a giant. If he wrestled in this day and age, he'd be a fucking giant.
Yeah, he dwarf a lot of guys. But you have just such great matches from him over the course of a long period of time. And he wrestling in the 90s obviously took a toll on him, Nash, all those guys. Look at the health conditions they're all in at this point.
Yeah, they
Even
all
Kevin
had
Kevin
surgery. Bret Hart,
mm,
Goldberg's the only one I think that's managed to escape
yeah, but he
like
wasn't
a
even
lot of
really
weird health problems. But
he
he
was
didn't wrestle for
more
20 years, so
he also didn't, do drugs and
well,
drink and
also,
all that
but
shit.
also his peak is like this,
Yeah, very small compared to like the
very
NWO.
small.
And you have to think too, the NWO came out what? We talked about this before, like 90,
96,
yeah, 96. And
96,
Goldberg, I don't think debuted until what, 98, 97? Even
yeah.
if
But then
that,
even
if
then,
that.
he wasn't wrestling a ton like these dudes did on house shows and stuff.
No, he was just doing squash matches,
Right, squash match, 3 minutes,
three
four
minute
moves,
squash
and he's
matches.
done. He's not doing, and he's like destroying people. So he didn't. The wear and tear in his body was never that much.
Goldberg's first match on WCW was a September 22nd, 1997.
96.
That's
Okay,
that
so
started the streak.
4 years in WCW, a couple years in WWE, and then didn't come back for almost 20 years. So yeah, I could see why he doesn't have the health problems that everybody else has.
He debuted against Hugh Morris.
Though we talked about Sting, he's like a freaking freak of nature.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, unfortunately.
I,
I'm
I don't know.
pretty
Scott
sure.
Hall was I did like Ray. He was like the first bad guy in a while that was cool to like.
Yeah, that's when heels became, you know,
Piper
acceptable.
was probably Piper, Flair. They were bad guys that you liked.
Hmm.
There weren't a lot of them then. Now there are a decent amount of bad guys that you like, that you
But
can
yeah,
like.
I mean, I think
Hard to get heat.
mid 2000s is when you have guys like CM Punk, who technically was a bad guy. You have people who were with Heyman who were bad guys, who you actually like even Brock Lesnar technically for the longest time was a bad guy. But then
I
again,
always felt like Lesnar was always in the middle, but Heyman always made him a heel.
it depends on who. Yes, Heyman can make anybody a heel. Look at Roman Reigns.
Mm,
I mean, look how well that works out.
that's fucking
But
great.
yeah, really, it's the best thing they have going for them right now, and it's not even that good, to be honest with you. But
I have
it
no
has
interest
it
in watching
has its
WrestleMania,
moments.
a show where, by all accounts, that one of their best stars is not going to be on WrestleMania because he doesn't have a match, and that would be
Well,
Seth Rollins.
he's going to be on. The
He doesn't
rumor
have
is
a match.
the rumor is Cody Rhodes.
I know that's what the rumor. The same thing. You're telling me
Kevin Smith's going to face Steve
two of
Austin.
the top stars in WWE are not going to be on a 2-night, or like that storyline is so whatever. Everybody's on WrestleMania.
So night
Everybody.
one,
If you're healthy, you're on.
night one is Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair, Rey Mysterio and Dominic versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Oh God, Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin in just a regular singles match. The Usos versus Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. Man, that's the worst night one I've ever seen.
It's a
That
terrible.
is
There's
that
no.
is
I have
fucking
no interest.
terrible. And then okay, night two, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Queen Zelina, and Carmella versus
It's a
Sasha
big.
Banks.
It's a big women's tag match.
Yeah, and then
You're telling me
Johnny
that
Knoxville versus Sami Zayn,
right?
Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory, and Edge versus AJ Styles.
You're telling me that Seth Rollins couldn't get a match against somebody, anybody? No.
Who's left? I mean, honestly, like who's left at this point to put him against?
Does it matter?
It does
I don't
because
know.
you have only
Did
certain
you say Finn Balor?
No, but I'm assuming he's going to finally face
Ricochet or anybody. Just he's fucking Seth Rollins. He's a Grand Slam champion. Does he need something? Just give him something.
You do realize that
It's
WrestleMania
such a stupid storyline.
2 weeks away, and they have no storylines really built up for him at all. And unless the Cody Rhodes thing is bullshit, and he's just not going to be on Mania, but he has to be on Mania in some way, shape, or form. He is Seth Rollins. I mean, it's just such a bad card, and like they don't have a night for like RK Bro versus whoever the tag team matches. Because
they're probably going to be wrestling.
Well, I imagine, yeah. But it's just so like weird to me.
Yeah, it's just the build up. Compare that to like the last AEW card, which was an excellent card, top to bottom. Even the worst match wasn't terrible. It had to go up after CM Punk.
Yeah.
So it kind of got screwed. The women's title match, Britt Baker match, because there were 2 women's title matches. But they spent 4 months building up that Punk match.
Yeah, and they did what they were supposed to do. Tore the fucking roof off the building, pretty much.
Doudrop has wrestled Bianca Belair 5 times on Raw in the last 2 months. We don't want to see it anymore. I get it. She's a big girl. Bianca can pick her up. Okay, whoop-de-doo. Like, what are we doing here? Stop. It's so lazy.
Well, the writing for WWE has always been bad. It's never been good. I mean, the 90s and very early 2000s were pretty good. And then you get to a point where now it's just the same shit regurgitated every week. And there's nothing new about it. And when you do finally...
yeah. There's nothing new about it. My favorite is when they do the tag matches and they keep alternating. They do singles matches.
Yeah, right.
Against each person.
That's such a 90s trope, though. That or they have like, where there's run-ins and all of a sudden now it's a 6-man tag.
Mm-hmm. That's a WCW move right there.
That is 100% a WCW move. But WWE has fallen into that like 8-man tags. I hate tag matches. I mean, I like regular tag matches. I hate like multiple
6 is the limit.
Yeah, 6-man tags is fine. When you have like 8 or 10-man tag matches, it's a fucking disaster.
The worst
Oh,
is when
sure.
they do like a triple threat, and they did it on AEW. It's a triple threat, but only two teams in the ring at the same time. I always find that so odd.
Isn't that like a Texas tornado match or something like that?
Well, Texas
Isn't that-
Tornadoes when everybody's in the ring,
Okay, maybe whatever the opposite of that is.
but you like if a triple threat match would be to me would be like there's three people in the ring at all times. But the way that they did their triple threat was that anybody could tag in any other team at any time. It just seems odd to me. I don't know.
Yeah, they've done that though in the past where you can just tag the other team. They do have like, I just when they do multiple tag teams, like when it's like somebody versus somebody versus somebody versus somebody, like they used to do that in WWE all the time, like the tables, ladders, and chairs matches, and like the like Edge and Christian when they had
Everybody was in the ring. Everybody's in the
yeah.
ring.
But when they had those solid tag teams, they don't have that anymore.
Well, WWE does not. AEW
No.
has so many good tag teams. It's ridiculous.
And they finally they put people together that you wouldn't normally think would mesh well, like Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Speaking of, we can talk about Matt Riddle and his donation to the.
I don't think that is an actual donation. I think he gave the guy some money because he asked, and then claimed it as a donation, which is a felony, by the way.
Which is shady as shit. But anyway, like RK Bro has worked really well. You wouldn't expect it to work that well, and it did. So like
it's because Riddle is legitimately funny. That's
he's
what
also,
it is.
He's also legitimately talented, and they don't give him the time of fucking day.
Well, they do
now. As a singles career, though, they don't give him the time of day.
Yeah, but it's nice to. They used to do that back in the day where they would build up a younger guy and an older guy and as a team to kind of build up that team.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it used to happen a lot more, and then they would separate. You'd have a
little bit of a feud.
You'd have a feud, and then you can go on from there.
One of my favorite tag teams of the last probably 10 years was because of Cesaro and Sheamus's feud, and all of a sudden
right. They didn't end really. It ended in a draw,
and they finally just became a tag team, and they were pretty great. I mean, Sheamus and his stupid mohawk was terrible, but I mean, for the most part, they were pretty good together, and they had, they were. I mean, Cesaro is probably one of the most talented wrestlers you'll ever see, which is sad to me that he's not on anything.
Anything.
Right
well, WWE wasn't using him anyway.
No, well, not the way he should have been used. How do you lose to Roman Reigns when you could literally do more than he can in the ring? It's just sad to me. I know he's not going to be your, he's not going to win your titles, but
why not?
You could, because he doesn't talk. That's all they give a shit about.
Get him with somebody who can talk.
They tried that. They tried putting him with Paul Heyman.
And then, but once Brock came back, he left.
I know.
That's what happened. If Brock doesn't come back, it doesn't matter. Do you know how many times they've put champions with people who can talk?
I know. But I'm saying, as strong as he is, he's not built like Brock Lesnar. He's not built like Roman Reigns. That's why, fucking Vince likes these guys who are like jacked up, like Hulk Hogan sized people.
Fucking roided to the gills. Like, Yokozuna was champion. He didn't even talk at all.
Oh, but he had
Mr.
name?
Fuji.
Mr. Fuji, yeah. So he had Mr. Fuji. So
Psycho Sid couldn't talk. I mean, like he could, but he couldn't make sense of what he said.
He was supposed to get inducted in the Hall of Fame, was the rumor, but that has not come out as far as I've seen.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it's a lot of wrestling to start with.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit about it yesterday. I sent you that image. So Drake Wirtz or whatever his name is, and I guess he borrowed money.
That's what they're saying. That's what one guy came out and said, that all these wrestlers made a donation to some political campaign that he's running. He's running in a House district in Florida.
Yeah, he's a douche. Just a complete douche. I didn't know
like when commenting on his campaign, my main issue is abortion. Your main issue is what the fuck? That's your main issue? That's what's wrong with this country. That should be nobody's main issue. And then his second big issue is mask mandates. What mask mandates? They're gone.
They're all gone, man. What the fuck?
It's
It's
like the
crying out
fucking
nothing.
trucker convoy in DC that are protesting mask mandates. That the protest has gone so well that nobody's even noticing that there's a convoy of trucks on the DC Beltway because it's regular traffic. It looks like regular fucking traffic. And with gas being like $6 a gallon for diesel, they're spending a shitload of money for no reason at all.
Very, very fucking stupid. So,
I like how he says the mask mandate. He wants to talk about people's medical freedom, but his first issue is abortion. What the fuck? That's too. You just said medical freedom. You can't do that. You're just contradicting yourself.
that's what most of them do anyway. All they do is contradict themselves. Tony Storm has
Green
OnlyFans
Day,
coming
walking
out, by the way.
contradiction.
March 19th.
Tony Storm is
Tony
what now?
has an OnlyFans coming out on March 19th.
OnlyFans.
Yes.
Is she going to be doing like nude stuff, or is it going to
I
be
don't
like one of
know.
those ones where people get pissed off about?
Honestly, and I mean, this might sound ridiculous, but I've never even been on the website OnlyFans. Don't have a reason to. But
I don't have a reason to either. It's weird to me.
There's a shit ton of people on there. Like
I know
celebrities, and I know the dude from Teen Wolf was on there showing his log to people, which is kind of weird. But whatever.
Maybe Cody Rhodes quit to go to OnlyFans.
Maybe. I just wish.
Quit. I'm sorry, his contract ended.
I hate the fact that, speaking of contracts ending, Joey Janela's leaving AEW. He's not resigning.
Well, I mean, they're not going to resign him. But didn't Scarlett have an OnlyFans?
I think so. Here comes.
Oh, that's what I wanted to talk. So the change, the choose your narrative. What is it called?
Yeah, change your narrative. Choose your narrative.
Choose your narrative. Choose.
Oh yeah.
With these rules. I got to read these rules. They're fucking ridiculous.
Well, before you do that, wait. So apparently, Dave Meltzer, the biggest schmark in all of creation, said that Cody Rhodes. What the fuck? Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins is definitely the plan for WrestleMania 38.
That's the plan.
That's the plan, Stan.
I just don't know if it's going to happen.
I don't know either. But anyway, go. Here we go. Sorry.
Someone upload. Here are the rule. I got to pull this up here and share this shit with everybody. Open image. We're going to share my screen here. Yeah, I don't know. You probably can't see it that well, but maybe this will be better. Nah. Anyway, so control your narrative. Number 1, you are in control. Rule number 2, you are in control. All caps. Number 3, fights end when you tap out, get knocked out, can't stand, or quit. Sanctioned matches can end via pinfall. Standard professional wrestling rules apply for sanctioned matches. Chaos ensues in the Project Pit. I don't know what
the fuck is the Project Pit?
I don't know. No super kicks, no tope suicidas, no Canadian destroyers. The fight isn't with your opponent, it is with yourself. What is this?
This is supposed to be like, it's like Fight Club.
Right. Fights will go on as long as they have to. Sanctioned matches hit their times. If you want to control your narrative, you have to fight. I don't understand.
Control your narrative is control your narrative.
So are they trying to present it as being real? Like these people are actually... So wouldn't that just be MMA? And wouldn't you want to watch MMA instead of wrestling at that point? Do you remember? You probably don't remember. What's the big Japanese Pancrase? I don't know if Pancrase is still around. It was like an MMA company that was like hybrid MMA and wrestling. I think they're still around. They kind of were like this weird thing at first, like kind of combined. Like Shamrock was a champion, the first champion.
It's still
And now,
around.
but it is still around, but like it actually moved into the MMA world because that's more of what it is. They wanted it to not be, they don't want it to think that it's wrestling, fixed results.
So they don't have. I don't know if they're still. I don't know what kind of shit they're doing, but they don't have any champions. There's no heavyweight champion. There's no light heavyweight champion.
Maybe they have, maybe they don't.
I don't know.
No, there's some champions though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see anybody other than Frank Shamrock was there and Ken Shamrock, but everybody else is
They were big like in the early 2000s,
Carlos
late
Condit was
90s,
there. Jose
late
Aldo,
90s, early 2000s.
Nate
But
Diaz.
I feel like that's what they're going for. But in 2022, I don't think that we're looking for wrestling that seemed more. If I wanted to watch wrestling that seemed more real, I would watch like
Like
fucking
Hammer,
hardcore wrestling.
like old school ECW shit.
CZW,
CZW.
I think it's still around.
So apparently in 2015, Pancrase signed an exclusive long-term deal to be streamed live and exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. Fight Pass also added all of Pancrase's historical fights to its library of video on demand basis. So there you go.
I don't know.
They actually had their own TV network, I guess, or they were on their own TV network, Imagine Asian TV, and then
Imagine Asian.
it lasted 4 years, and the TV network folded. Fight Network
I guess it's
began
still
airing them too.
around. I don't know.
It doesn't. I don't know. I guess. So apparently, Pancrase adopted the Association of Boxing's Commission and Combative Sports Rules, better known as the Unified Rules of Mixed Martial Arts. So they're technically now just a mixed martial arts thing.
Oh no, there's an event coming up this weekend. Pancrase 326.
God, it's been around forever. Damn.
So they are still around. I don't know how big or small it is.
Established in 1993.
I'm just not into MMA anymore. It kind of lost the
Yeah.
shine to me. It's just
Well, and I think part of it is there's no like huge personalities. And maybe I'm
probably.
wrong because
Even McGregor is whatever. Once they lose, you kind of lose all the hype.
So like when John Jones wasn't a scumbag and he actually has really great matches or whatever, or fights, I should say, not that. We're talking about wrestling so much. But
I think, well, see, you said when he was always an asshole. He
yeah,
just
hit
once
it
he started
well.
losing, it kind of like people were like, you know what? It's not worth it. Not worth it anymore. Isn't he in jail again?
I think so. I don't know. This has been an all sports podcast today.
All sports. Next up,
All
baseball.
sports all day. We will.
Well, there's a lot of sports. See, right now at this time of the year, we're recording this. It's, by the way, it's 316 day, Austin 316 day.
It is.
I don't know. We didn't even cover that as we're recording this right now. So not only you've got baseball starting because the lockout is over. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You had a major wrestling death. It's 316 day. WrestleMania is coming up. March Madness is about to start. NFL free agency just started. There's a lot of shit going on in sports right now.
Yeah, it's been a weird couple days, especially sports related. Football is definitely picking up now.
Tom Brady's not retired. We just talked about him last week. We were like, is he the GOAT? Well, he's coming back. He's going to add another 40 touchdowns and 4,000 yards to his resume.
Yeah, because he's Joe Montana now. Although Joe Montana went to the Chiefs and kind of ruined his
Didn't win a
career
Super Bowl.
No.
Didn't win a Super Bowl.
Nope. Tom Brady's just Tom Brady. Fuck him. He just didn't want to spend any more time with his kids. It took him a month.
That's like 2 months of spending time with his wife and kids. He's like, fuck it, I gotta go back. I gotta get out.
I feel like I need to
I
get
can't
hit
take it.
head.
I blame him sometimes,
No, hell no. But yeah, so I don't know. And John Jones is not in jail, apparently. I looked it up. I guess he actually had a plea deal. He won't serve jail time.
Okay,
but his career is basically over anyway.
And he's only 34. So
it's sad. He got hit in the head once.
Yeah, his career is pretty much done.
But so I mean, we can move on to baseball. I know it's gearing up to be one hell of a season because now teams have changed. Lots of teams have changed.
I don't want to talk about who's going where, all that kind of stuff. I want to talk about two teams, and they kind of go with each other because in the 70s they were a big fucking deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the 70s anymore, but Cincinnati and Oakland are fucking selling the farm.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. Cincinnati doesn't want to pay anybody. Fuck that. And
Oakland, historically, yeah, they don't want to pay anybody.
but Oakland also rebuilds like every 10 years or more, really, or less, I should say. 5 to 10 years. They rebuild all the time. Where do you think those guys came? Where do you think Matt Olson and Matt Chapman came from? It's not like they came from nowhere. Those guys were rookies at some point and they built them up, you know?
But
They
were pretty good last year, weren't they?
I think they were terrible, but I think what they got back in return for Matt Olson from the Braves, because Freddie Freeman's not coming back. I'm gonna show it one single year.
Oakland won 86 games last year.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't make any sense. But I think they saw the writing on the wall and they weren't going to re-sign him. And the Braves is immediately day 2 after trading for him signed him to an $8-year contract. So
the Reds won 83 games last year.
And the crazy part, and the Reds were on the cusp of making the playoffs. Honestly, there was this bad run.
They crashed and burned, and the Cardinals went on like that fucking ridiculous hot streak.
Yeah, they had a really rough end of the season, but they had a really good team. They're not terrible, but it was a salary dump. They traded one of their best players, best clubhouse guys, to get rid of $35 million.
They traded right, and meanwhile, Joey Votto, who spent his whole career there, never hasn't even won a playoff series. I don't know, but they're treating him like shit. They just trade him, get it over with.
I don't know why he's still there. He had so many opportunities to leave. I mean, I don't know. Like, trade him to another team, because now the DH is there and he doesn't have to play first base anymore.
I don't want to hear any baseball team cry poverty. Okay, I get it. The Braves didn't want to pay Freddie Freeman whatever contract he wanted, but they traded a ton of shit for Olson and then gave him a huge contract.
I think
still doesn't make a ton of sense for me.
There's too much. There's something that we're missing. And I'm saying that as a Braves fan. They should have paid him whatever, but I feel like he's 32 years old and he probably wanted a 10-year contract. I know that's what he's looking for more. So the Braves. So you're talking
it was six years they wanted.
So he would have been 38. That doesn't make sense that they wouldn't pay him for 6 years instead of 5.
Right. That's what I'm saying. To give up your top 2 prospects, which the value that they could give out over years, they're paying them at a cheaper rate. It would balance out. You could have kept them and paid him a couple extra more bucks.
The one that really pisses me off is Langoliers. He's gonna be a really good player.
Bite your ass.
It happens all the time, though. I'm not surprised by that anymore. But he was going to be the catcher of the future. But maybe they have somebody else coming up. Who knows? But that being said, apparently the Dodgers only offered Freddie Freeman 4 years. So who knows where he's going to go?
But if the 4 years were for 160, like, would you not take that?
He wants the longevity. He doesn't want to go.
Of what?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense. Like, give the guy an 8-year contract. The Braves probably offered him 8 years, $250 million or something ridiculous, or $300 million. Who knows? And he wants whatever he wants. Which I get it.
There's not a huge amount of difference between 4 160 and 6 180.
No, there's not. Not really.
I say take the 4 because then you could still make more.
Yeah.
A $40 million average annual. I'm not saying that's what was actually offered, but a $40 million average annual value. That's some bucks, man. That sets good precedence, I think.
And I'm not saying that people shouldn't get paid, but it's not like Freddie Freeman was making a rookie contract either. Right? He was making $12 million a year or whatever. It's not like he was getting paid $1 million a year. He signed a good contract.
He was getting back. He made $22 million last year.
Yeah. So he was making a shit ton of money. He
has an outside chance to get 3,000 hits. By the way,
he does. He's a good hitter, and it sucks to lose.
If he plays till he's 40, he's got 1,700 hits now.
So he'd have to have 200 hits a year, give or take, something like that.
He needs 1,300 hits in over 9 seasons. That seems pretty doable.
It does.
That's like not even 150 a year.
No, he could do it. It hurts to lose Freddie Freeman. Don't get me wrong. You know how it hurts to lose players on your team. So it sucks
because the Mets never have anybody that good. I take it back. We lost David Wright, but that was to injury.
Yeah, injury.
Not due to.
But the Braves have lost. The Braves have lost so many players over the years that just become immune or numb to it after a while. But he's
not. Not like Freddie though.
No, but I mean, Chipper Jones was
Chipper
there
never
forever.
left.
He never left, and he restructured his contract. But he was also like 37 years old or whatever it was when that happened. So I mean, the writing was on the wall there anyway. He didn't retire until he was what 40, 39, whatever it
A
was.
lot of people are blaming Freddie for not wanting to come. Like, doesn't team loyalty mean anything? It's like
Well,
the
money's money,
Braves
bro.
traded the Braves traded away 4 guys and then immediately signed the guy that they traded for.
And
So maybe they really didn't want him that much.
and Matt Chapman, who's 27, he's 5 years
Olson.
younger.
Matt Olson.
Matt Olson, sorry, I got my
Chapman
Matts.
was traded to the
Chapman
Blue
to the
Jays.
Blue Jays today. Yes, but yeah, so that's what I meant to say. But I've also spelled his name wrong like 48 times, probably.
Olson?
Yeah, because it's Olson, not Sen.
And I
Yeah.
only know that because he's on my fantasy team.
But like they paid him what 8 years, 168 million or 86 million, something like that.
168, which includes this and next year. They were arbitration years, so it's a little bit of a discount. You don't know what he could have gotten if he actually hit the free agent market. But he's a Georgia boy. He's from Georgia,
And he's got a huge smile on his face. Like a huge smile on his face being there, I mean, granted, yes, but this was before he even got paid. I'm pretty sure,
right?
He was there. So,
well, he showed up with his Oakland bags. I'm like, you couldn't send the dude some Atlanta bags you could have walked in with.
Well, it's funny because
Oakland bag.
He was sitting in the dugout getting interviewed, and he's wearing Oakland A's gear, and he's like, and underneath it says "New Braves Edition" or whatever underneath it, and he's wearing Oakland shit. I love those baseball cards when they're like in the old uniform that says "traded to the wherever." Those are always one of some of my favorite cards because they look so stupid. Like, just Photoshop the guy's fucking uniform on like everybody else does.
That's what they basically do.
Yeah.
They have like those stock images, and they're super easy to put whatever team you want on there.
Yeah. I mean,
it's just like we had to look at Max Scherzer in Photoshopped Mets gear for 2 months while we waited.
That was kind of weird.
It was kind of weird, wasn't it?
Yes, a little
Anyway,
bit.
the weather's starting to get warmer. The days are getting longer because we're in daylight savings time, which they want to make into a full-time thing. They want to make it law now. The Senate passed a law to make it just this one time. That's it. This time. Daylight savings time is the time. Some states don't even do it. Like Arizona doesn't do it.
It sounds so stupid.
Daylight savings time?
It just sounds like the fact that they're going to make it a law. It just sounds so stupid to me.
Well, it is a law now of what we do. And also, like, studies have shown that the day after time changes really fucks with people.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So what do they want to do? Make it like permanent where it doesn't change?
Make the time. I think they want to make the time that we're in now, which is daylight savings time, the time. So and never go back. There's no fallback. Whatever we're in right now, that's what we are in.
Really? That's what I took it as, but I was like, that seems fucking weird.
No, that's what it is.
I guess, man. It is.
All I know is that every time the clocks change, it fucks with the kids, man. Fucks with the kids.
Like my kid's tired, like super tired now because he stays up later because it's light out. And he stays up a little bit later. But we yelled at him today because he was being a little bit of a butthead, which happens. So he went in his room and shut the door, and then I walk in there and he's sleeping. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's just tired. That's right.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Kids, when they get to a certain age, exhaustion takes over, and like that's what causes them to be an asshole. And like, okay, I get it, because if I'm tired, I'm an asshole too. But I try to keep it to myself. I didn't know that, but if I'm tired, I'm like double asshole, double the asshole, double the pleasure, double mint gum.
Yes.
Yeah, and I never have to wake my kid up for school. He's usually up and going at 6:30. I've had to wake him up every day this week to go to school because he's not used to it. His body's still adjusting to that time. It fucking sucks. I've been going to sleep later than I should be because I'm not fucking used to it.
Yeah, it takes
don't get me wrong.
To.
I love the fact that it's 6 something at night and it's still light out. I love that. I like I must, whatever. The sun doesn't need to come up at 5:30 in the morning. What do I need that for? I don't want to wake up at 5:30 to enjoy the sun. Fuck that.
It is kind of dumb. I'm pretty sure we've talked about daylight saving times before, like when it started and stuff. I'm not going. We need like a autobiographer for us to show us what our
I think we
podcast
talked
episodes
about
are
it
about.
on the 2012 version of the show, which is almost a 10-year anniversary of that.
Yeah, we're almost the 2-year anniversary of this show. Which I mean,
Yes, in about a month, where we'll hit the 2 month the 2 year anniversary. We'll have to have like a big celebration.
big to do.
I don't know. I don't know when was posted episode 1.
I would tell you. Instagram will probably tell you.
No, no. Of the 2012
Oh,
version of the podcast. What I call
um,
I don't know if you've ever noticed, but when I put the when I upload each episode, they give you a stop to put the season number in addition to the episode number. This is season 2. Since we came back, it's season 2. So the 2012 version is season 1. In the 2020 version is now season 2. So like our season 2 is just going on for a really really long time. Like
yeah,
that
this is the
that
longest
Charlie
season 2
Sheen
of all
show.
time.
Well,
Oh, that never
anger
went. Remember
anger management.
yeah, it got renewed and then they never came back. It was supposed to be renewed for like 400 episodes or something like that. It never came back.
No,
I
they
don't think.
renewed it. Like season 2 is 90 episodes.
Yeah, but I don't think they've made 90 episodes.
They did.
No.
There are 100 episodes. There are 100 episodes of anger management.
Oh yeah, there
Season
is.
2 was
Holy
90
shit.
episodes.
I wanted that
Yeah,
show.
I'm dead. I'm
Did that
dead
show?
serious.
Did that show just get canceled because he got AIDS or HIV?
Who knows? I don't know why it got canceled. Probably because they were like, we've had enough.
I mean, you know
I
what the
just
sad part is? It wasn't a terrible show. It wasn't great by any
I
stretch
never
of the
watched it.
imagination. But fucking Martin Sheen was on it. You
Was
know,
he? I
playing
have
his
no idea.
dad.
People don't remember that show at all.
Yeah, it was weird, but it was on a long time ago.
10 years, just about.
10 years. I mean, it
2014.
was on a long. Think about
It
that for a
ended in
second.
2014.
Think about all the shows that came out in 2012 that are no longer on the air anymore, and then you have shows like Grey's Anatomy that's still on the fucking air. You know, it's just
How many
very, very
shows have
strange.
come? How many shows were started before that? But still, 100 episodes for a show like that was a big fucking deal. Everybody was like, "What are you doing?" Like Rick and Morty got like a whole bunch of episodes,
Like The Office ended in 2013. So I mean,
and it's still the most popular streaming show out there. At least it
yeah.
was until they put it on Peacock.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
Peacock!
not a fan. I don't like the ads. It pisses me off.
Even on the paid plan,
I don't have a paid plan. I have
doesn't
my brothers that I guess you have. It's not a paid plan. I guess I don't know, which is weird to me that you have because you watched it.
I
on
thought
his.
it was. I don't watch it though.
Oh, yeah, it's not. You if you pay for it, he doesn't pay for it.
I don't know what they give him.
It's like the
I
regular
don't know what they
basic
give
plan.
him.
Basic
No.
plan, I think. But yeah, so I mean, it is what
It's
it
such
is.
a fucking waste. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
you got Discovery Plus and HBO Max about to merge.
Ugh.
Weird.
Yeah, that is very strange.
I want some hybrid. I want some shows between the two to like cross over. Like, can we get Guy Fieri on an episode of Doom Patrol?
That would be interesting to watch. Did you ever see that commercial with Guy Fieri in it when they're all dressed like Guy Fieri?
Is it a commercial or like a skit?
No, it's a commercial. I forget what it's for.
Is it a Super Bowl commercial?
I
Where
think
the
it was-
Flavor Town?
It was the
Where he's
Super
like the
Bowl.
mayor of.
Yeah, it was the
Yeah,
Bud Light,
yeah,
Bud Light one, I think.
I did not see that.
With
Where everybody,
fucking-
he's the mayor of Flavor Town, and everybody's dressed kind of like him.
yes, all the stupid hats with the hairs, but so stupid.
I mean, I like Guy Fieri. Don't
I
get me
do.
wrong.
I do too. I do too.
It's just it's become a running joke, but it's okay. He takes it in stride. He doesn't care.
No, dude, for the amount of money that dude has, who gives a
Right.
shit? Honestly, that dude is fucking loaded to the gills.
And the show's still going on. It'll go on until he's like, all right, I've had enough. Which I haven't watched a new episode in years. I feel like it's not the same. It was much better when it was more grittier.
Well, I remember the last time I watched it live was during the pandemic. Well, the actual pandemic, like last year, and they were doing cooking shows from his house, and they were like making some of the diners, drives in, and dive stuff from past shows, and the people that were at those restaurants would send him the ingredients, and he would have to make it, which is an interesting concept to kind of like, I guess, to do the show, you know. So
Yeah,
past diners, drive-ins, and dives that they did, they would send him a box of ingredients, and he would make their signature dish at their house.
that
You
sounds like
know,
a great show.
I mean,
That
it
sounds.
worked. It
Let's
was
just
kind
do
of
that like in reality. Let's
that's kind
just
of
get some
boring.
regular schmo.
I think you want to see the person like he's going to see. You want to see them cook it. So I think that's the part of Diners, Drivers, and Dives that I like is watching the other person cook a little bit and him like just watching them do it and
Yeah,
being
but
amazed by the certain different things they do. You
where's my
know,
reality show where they try to recreate the dishes from the most popular dishes from Triple D shows? You
yeah.
know, like there's been a lot of things from there that have gone and made specific food types more popular.
Yeah,
I
I mean
feel.
that show is just generally popular anyway. So is Grocery Games. I mean, we talked about this already, where he has like 400 and something episodes of Diners, Drivers, and Dive or Triple D. You know, it's
How soon before they spin him off into his own channel?
yeah. Well,
What?
probably
Huh?
very shortly. Haley's trying to give me pizza. I'm not
I
gonna eat
want some
pizza on the.
pizza.
I'm not gonna eat pizza on the podcast.
Why
That'd be
not?
weird.
You could. What kind of pizza?
I think it's buffalo chicken.
Yeah, it's all right.
I went to a
All
pizza.
right.
Went to a pizza place the other day, and I was like, we're gonna get like personal pizzas or whatever, and I was like, she's like, well, if you want to be brave, we have this buffalo mac and cheese chicken pizza that you can get. I'm like, I guess I'm gonna be brave today.
What's so brave about that?
I
They
did
shouldn't
really.
be doing that. Why are we putting mac and cheese on pizza? Stop
like
trying
going,
to complicate pizza.
people like pizza with weird shit.
I remember
Although,
growing up and like buffalo chicken pizza. That was not a thing.
so remember Marino's had a deep dish buffalo chicken pizza with breaded chicken on it. It was the best pizza I've ever eaten. Still to this day, it's probably the best pizza I've ever had.
Deep dish though?
Deep. It was like
Is it really pizza or is it just a casserole? I still maintain to this day that a deep dish pizza is not pizza. It is a casserole.
It depends if it's bread or not. Like if
I
it's
mean,
bread, if it's
like
bread,
a
it's
pot
not a
pie.
cast.
It's like a pot pie.
It's not a pot pie. It's not
Is a hot
loose
dog a
ingredients.
sandwich?
No, I'm not having this conversation with you. Hot dog's a hot dog.
A hot dog is a taco.
Hot dog is a taco wrapped in bologna.
No, it's just a taco.
It's not
The encloses over the bun.
Is a taco a sandwich?
No, a taco is a taco.
By proxy, a taco has to be some type of sandwich. So what's a quesadilla then?
I don't know.
I don't either.
You can make a hot dog a sandwich.
Why do you drive on a parkway, but park on a driveway?
I don't know. I don't know. Why do you do that? So last night I was getting some clothes. The wife asked me to get some clothes from the basement that were hanging up. And I heard her say blue cardigan, but I knew exactly what she was talking about. And then I heard tan frock. That's what I heard. And I'm like, tan frock? What the fuck is that? So I went downstairs and I'm looking. I'm like, I don't know why she would call. I never heard it use the frock. Remember, I'm part deaf. Like I can't hear for shit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going down and I send a picture and I'm like, is this what you meant? And then I get a message back and like, that's yellow, you dumbass. Which I knew it was, but I couldn't find anything that was close to it. And then we're going back and forth.
That's what I said too. I said that's yellow.
No, this is you. I thought it was her. I'm like, look, and then it took me like 2 minutes to realize that I did not send a picture to her. I sent the picture to you. And I was like, she's being really mean. And then I realized what I did. I could not stop laughing about it.
I was like, what the
I was
frock are you
fucking
talking about?
dying. What the frock? Now we've turned it into what the frock. It wasn't a frock. She said bra. Tan bra. I heard frock.
Man, you're
I don't know
deaf
why
as
I heard
shit.
frock. Maybe I wanted to hear the word frock. I've never heard anybody say frock, but women's clothing has a lot of weird names to it. It just
Well,
cardigan.
a frock is a dress, not even a shirt. It's a
No, I know
dress.
that. I
I didn't
know.
know
I know that now after I googled it.
that.
But to me, it's simple. Grab me the shirt. Grab me the hoodie. Grab me the pants. With women, it's where are my capris? Where's my cardigan? Where's my pullover? Where's my insert name that I'm supposed to know automatically what it is? And I don't know, nor do I really care to know. I don't need to know.
Nope, don't care.
I wear a shirt. I wear a hoodie. And I was talking about this with people from work. And I was like, I don't want to go back in the office. Then I might actually have to put on not slob clothing because nobody sees me.
Yeah.
And when I first started there, I would dress up. I would look presentable. I'd be wearing, dress pants and a polo shirt or a button down shirt. Then it became a polo shirt. Then it became a polo shirt and jeans. Now it's just t-shirt and jeans. I don't give a fuck. Doesn't really matter. There was or shorts because when it's hot, I want to wear shorts all the time. I live in shorts. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. All the time.
The one person there, I guess he came on like during spring or summer or whatever, and like the first cold day we had, I was wearing pants. He's like, Mark, I didn't even know you owned pants. You asshole.
You own pants?
You own pants? Well, I wear shorts every time. It's an excuse. If it's going to be over 50, I want to wear shorts. My legs need to breathe.
Breathable pants. You need to buy some cotton pants.
I know you like to wear, there's no sleeves when it gets real hot.
Damn right I do. That's why I'll be like, I have to show my tattoos off. Oh, I don't have any tattoos.
Yeah, me too. The pants are anything below the knee or the sleeves of the leg. Okay, I don't like sleeves, long sleeves.
Breaking news! Breaking news!
Breaking news! Mark hates long sleeves. I do not wear long sleeves.
Also, Chris Bryant to the Rockies, 7 years, $182 million.
Oh my God, really?
Yes.
Why? Rockies are just going to be terrible. It's like we'll pay you all this money, but don't expect to win. That's what that contract is.
That's a lot of money, dude. Holy shit. 7 years.
You should have just taken a 1-year deal.
Probably would have got. I mean, then again, why not get paid? Fuck it.
I know.
He's going to hit some home runs out in Coors Field.
He won a championship, so I guess he's got his one. Time to get paid now.
Yeah, 880. What is that? That's a lot of money. And math is not my strong suit.
Did you say 182?
Yeah, 182. Do some math.
That's $38 million a year.
Whew, that's a lot.
A lot for Chris Bryant. I don't really think that he's worth that much. But if you want him, it's $26 million a year. Where did I get the other one? I did the math backwards. Still a lot of money. $26 million is still a lot of money for Chris Bryant. He doesn't scream $25 million a year player to me.
Oh, considering that Rizzo just signed with the Yankees for I think it was like 12 million or 11. No, 2 years.
2 years. They gave him a 2-year deal.
It was 2 years. So that's what I read most recently. Damn.
The thing with Colorado is like his numbers are going to be nuts, but they'll never compete unless they start getting pitchers that work in Colorado.
No, so what's weird to me is he's played for 6 years now?
Chris Bryant? It's at least 7 years.
Wow, 2015 to 2021. So now it'll be 7, right? I guess. It depends on how many.
4, 5, 6. No, he's played exactly 7 years.
Okay, so he's only got 167 home runs. What are they paying him $26 million a year for?
Well, so 2020 was weird, so let's not count that.
True. Yeah, okay.
And then he missed a huge chunk in 2018.
Yeah, I guess maybe there's probably a gap somewhere in there, But
he's only 30, so it's not like it's that crazy, I guess. I don't know. He came out so
He did win the NL MVP too. So I mean, he's
But he came
obviously
out so young and like so strong the first 3 years of his career, then kind of like plateaued a bit.
yeah,
Didn't
and
get really get much better. Just got a little worse instead.
he's also, they won the World Series with the Cubs for the first time in whenever. So I mean, I guess he's got that under his belt. NL Rookie of the Year and all that shit. So, but yeah, that happens to a lot of people. Where he 4 home runs in 2020. Holy
Yeah,
shit!
well, 2020 is going to ruin so when people are talking about Hall of Fame candidacy for players in 10 years, 15 years from now, and they're going to say, "Oh, he didn't reach this level or he came just short of it." 2020 and 2021 are going to be like that. Those are the reasons these things happened.
Yeah,
The 2 seasons were very strange.
yeah, that COVID-19
2021 not
season was
as
weird.
much, but 20 there are still outliers from 2021. 2020 when they only played 60 games. Well, I don't even know how many games were played.
60. I think it
Was
was
it
60.
60?
It was 60, yeah. Because the
Pretty
Braves
big
probably
guess.
should have made the World Series that year too. Fucking assholes.
So do you count that season? Like the Dodgers? I know the Dodgers
You kind
won
of
the
have to.
championship,
Well,
but did they really win a championship? It just seemed like
but then
I don't
Freddie
know.
Freeman won MVP that year.
Yeah, and Jose
Yeah,
Abreu won the AL MVP.
exactly. So I mean, like, how do you take that season out of contention, or how do you put it into contention? Really, being only 60 games. So for 60 games out of the year, he was the best player in baseball. Which I mean, whatever. But then
A
what if
lot of
there was
players.
another?
There's how many players have had 60-game hot streaks
A lot.
and then have fallen off the face of the earth? The rest of the 120?
Pretty sure Chipper Jones hit like 400 for like 40 games. So yeah, I mean, he could have probably been the highest batting average of all time. It's just fucking ridiculous. So there, I don't know why, but on the Chris Bryant Wikipedia page, there was a link for, I guess something with the contract of Ryan Howard, and I did not know. Ryan Howard is Major League Baseball all-time record holder for most lifetime Golden Sombrero awards. He struck out 4 times in a game, more than any other player in history.
Seems about right.
Yep, Ryan Howard. So
27
much,
times, by the
so
way,
much,
he's done that.
so
Chris
much-
Davis is second, 26. Giancarlo Stanton is fourth. A very surprising number 3, though.
Who is it?
Reggie Jackson.
Really?
Yeah.
This is gonna sound out of left field, but I think Reggie Jackson is a little bit overrated.
Well, he had 500 home runs.
Yes.
Is he a little overrated? He had 563 home runs in an era where.
But he batted 262. And he
500 home runs.
And he didn't have. Baseball was weird in the 70s, man. I don't know. I don't know.
He won.
I think the Yankees is what really made him
5 World Series championships, 14-time
Exactly.
All-Star, won an MVP, 2 times World. I don't think he's overrated.
I don't know, maybe not.
You look at the batting average, but the batting average doesn't mean much.
No, but I mean that, and the fact that he didn't have 3,000 hits.
What was his on base percentage? That's the number you need to look at. I don't know what that was off the top of my head. They didn't list that on Wikipedia.
No. I can look it up.
His on base percentage for his career was 356. That's pretty good.
He wasn't a unanimous decision either for the Hall of Fame. So I mean,
what do you mean he wasn't unanimous? 93%.
Oh yeah, shit, he was. I read that wrong. My bad.
90%? You read that really wrong. 93%.
No, well, the way my microphone is, it kind of blocked it. I thought it said like 73%, and I just didn't.
No,
like, yeah.
He was first ballot. I mean, Reggie Jackson hit three home runs in a World Series game. That was his claim to fame in the 70s. It featured him as featured in that movie Basketball.
Remember when ESPN used to do like little like shows,
like real shows, like Playmakers,
like The Bronx is Burning, like all that shit. Remember they used to do like.
They still do. It just doesn't. Nobody cares about ESPN anymore.
No, not really.
Though they do the documentaries. Was Bronx is Burning a documentary, or was that like a show?
It was a show.
I
It
I
was a
guess they
show.
don't really do stuff like that.
He played 1 year for the Baltimore Orioles.
Reggie.
Yeah, I need to get that baseball card. That seems like a unique one to have. He also played 1 year for the Kansas City, whatever fucking team that is, Kansas City Athletics, before
Well,
they became the
before
Oakland
they
Athletics.
moved, yeah,
Yeah,
they moved, so it was still the same team. It's not like he played for the Royals.
no,
Did that 1 year of Baltimore? What was that about?
I don't know. It's very strange. Like he signed like a 1 year, either that or he got no, because he didn't get traded because it was 1976, and it was bad too. It wasn't even. Oh, yeah, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't a great year.
No, he was traded because he didn't sign his contract. He wanted a raise, so he didn't sign the contract. They traded him for Don Baylor and two other players.
It's a weird one.
That is a little weird. Jackson had not signed a contract, threatened to sit out the season, didn't make his first plate appearance until May 2nd.
So he actually, I guess he has the most strikeouts of all time. Am I reading that right? Gold career totals indicate an all-time career record: 25, almost 2,600 strikeouts.
Is that
Yeah,
most strikeouts?
that's a lot of strikeouts. Well, he did strike out like 171 times 1 year, like his
Yeah,
first.
wow, he is number one. That is correct.
Holy shit! But I mean, you put that into contention with 563 home runs. I mean, I guess.
But you look at the other guys, but also you got to remember he played 21 years, so he played a long time.
He
and
did.
all the other players on this list were good players. It's not like they were terrible players. Reggie Jackson, Jim Thome, Adam Dunn, Sammy Sosa, A-Rod, Andres Galarraga, Justin Upton is on there. He could sneak his way into the top 5 by the time he's done. Jose Canseco, Willie Stargell. Imagine if Reggie Jackson played now. Oh my God, he'd have like 3,500 strikeouts.
Yeah, who would be swinging at random shit all day long? He had some good years in California too when he moved from the Yankees to the Angels.
He had a lot of good years. That's why he was a Hall of Famer.
Actually, I should say he had one good year. One good year. Now the rest of them kind of sucked.
It was okay. You also remember he was 36 when he started playing there.
True. He played till he was 41. That's crazy.
Look, back in the day, that's what they did. They played a long time, and especially you saw a lot of guys in the 70s that were playing, and then they started really getting paid in the 80s. So they wanted to hang on and get a little bit of that extra paycheck, you know?
So in 1982, he played for the California Angels, whatever the hell they were called back then.
39 homers.
He had 39 home runs. He struck out 156 times in 153 games. And he walked 85 times. So, like, if you, I'm not going to compare him to Chipper Jones a little bit, but if you look at Chipper Jones' stats, his strikeouts and walks are reversed. He's always got more walks than he does strikeouts. So it's like looking at this thing, it's like an anomaly to me for some reason. Like he has 100 strikeouts in every year, but 3. And that's because he played 35 games in his first year. And then this last game, he played 115. He still had 97 strikeouts.
But did he ever have as many walks in a year as Reggie Jackson did, though?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Reggie Jackson had 114 walks 1 year. It's a lot of fucking walks.
Chipper Jones walked 126 times in 1999.
Okay.
And he never struck out more than 100 times in a year.
I don't. Strikeouts don't really bother me that much.
1 year. It doesn't, but it's like, you know, it depends.
Reggie Jackson he's the pinpoint. He's the original. He's the patient zero of 3 true outcomes.
True.
A walk, a strikeout, a homer. It's it.
I guess that's all that matters in reality.
Those are the only things that you can control as a hitter is the 3 true outcomes. You can either walk, you can either strike out, or you can hit a home run. Any other time when you put the ball in play, you run the risk of anything happening. Anything can happen if you put the ball in play. That's why they call it 3 true outcomes. Adam Dunn was a very big 3 true outcome.
Adam Dunn was a weird player. But
Adam Dunn was the kind of guy who would jack 40 home runs, strike out 210 times, and have an on-base percentage of 400.
Adam Dunn struck out 1 year 222 times. So, yes, he struck out a lot. He has 2,400 strikeouts. Holy shit! He almost doubled his walks. He has 2,400 strikeouts and 1,300 walks. That's insane.
It's just the analytics, man.
He
It
actually
doesn't
walked.
matter. Walks
He
don't
walked a
hurt.
lot.
Strikeouts don't hurt. Strikeouts are better than a double play.
True. Generally,
Double
yeah.
play is a fucking killer. There's nothing more. It's you get a runner on first, second inning, nobody out. The guy comes up, hits a double play. Fucking that ruins the whole inning and your whole mood.
You know, Adam Dunn is only a 2-time All-Star. That seems low
Makes
to
sense.
me. Well, but I mean, you're talking about a guy who hit 40 home runs 5 years in a row.
He was never like flashy or super outstanding about it. He was just consistent.
No, yeah, but he made an All-Star team in a year where he only hit 26 home runs, and then the year he hit 46, he didn't even make the All-Star team, and he actually batted 266, which is kind of weird. I don't know.
Yeah,
That seems kind of weird. That seems kind of weird.
Anyway, this has been Sports with Mark and JD this week. That's the name of this episode. Sports! And all caps were yelling it.
Mark and JD Sports!
Sports! Like the 90s, like Sega! Sports!
Mark and JD do sports. Talk sports stuff. Sport things.
Yes. And we should have done... I'm gonna watch Spider-Man.
Yes. You gotta watch Spider-Man. You also have to watch Kiss of the Spider-Woman.
And I had to watch Kiss of the Spider-Woman because
now-
William Hurt died.
William Hurt died.
So we need to do
You
episode
killed William
2
Hurt.
of... I did. Episode 2 of Runners Up. It's been a year and a half since
It's been so long since we actually did it. God only knows what the name of the show is anymore.
I completely forgot. That's just side projects that we never got around to.
We gotta pick more current one probably this year. Like when the Oscars did the Oscars already happen? I don't even know.
No, not yet.
Okay. Whatever the runner up is, we'll pick a new movie and we'll watch that and we'll talk about that.
I guess. I don't know. I feel like it's too recent. We'd have to go within the last 10 years.
Okay.
I think. No? What do you think?
I don't know, because I don't think that movie Power of the Dog or whatever. I hear it's probably gonna win. So that one's not gonna be on the radar. I don't know what else you got. I don't even know what's nominated.
It's like something like let's see, something that people forgot was nominated for Best Picture, like Nebraska.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie either.
Yeah. Nebraska or Brooklyn.
Ugh, that movie looks terrible though. It just does.
What else? Lion.
Lion. Oh,
Lion,
that fucking movie.
Call Me by Your Name. Yeah, watch that.
Call Me by Your Name.
I've seen 3. If you haven't seen 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, I don't think you've seen that. That's a good movie. You should watch that.
Yeah, I'll check it out. See if I can find it somewhere.
I believe it was on Hulu.
I think I started watching it, and like, you know, whenever you're watching a movie with someone and they get disinterested in it and they start playing on their phone, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm bored. I'm like, all right, fine. I guess we're turning this off. Yeah, that's just how ladies are.
That's how I am sometimes. I'm on my phone watching things all the time. I don't need to watch 100. I don't need to give 1,000% attention to everything that I'm watching.
Well,
if it's really good, I will.
Movies, I will. TV shows, probably not. I'll play on my phone if I'm watching a TV show, but like generally, if I'm watching a movie, it's getting my undivided attention because you can't watch.
I will do it.
You know, you can't really watch them.
I can.
But anyway, Twitch.
Anyway,
we're on Twitch.
Anyway, what?
Anywho.
If you've been watching, you can listen to us while you play on your phone. We're good background noise. You just ignore us.
We're basically ignorable. I mean, it's fine.
We're so ignorable. Check us out on our Facebook, Mark and JD, Instagram, Mark and JD, Twitter, Mark and JD, Twitch, Mark and JD, and wherever podcasts are available, we are there. We are there.
If you just type in Mark and JD podcast on Google, you'll find us. I promise. We're there.
Are we?
I don't know.
Mark and JD podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah,
we're there. We're number one now. We weren't always number one,
No, we're not.
but now
number
we
one.
have 74 episodes under our belts here.
We're 26 away from 100.
Yeah, so we got a lot of big things coming up. We got 100. We start counting down. I need like a countdown thing, having the episodes to 100. We got our 2-year anniversary show, of which that's when we started. 1-year anniversary is when we started doing video every week.
Mm-hmm.
So we got something. We're gonna have to have a big blowout party for that one.
Yeah, man, get drunk.
So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe. It's coming up. We got some interesting episodes, ideas, interesting side projects. I know you've been working on with Junior. So stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. That way you're always in the know. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It feels like it's 3 p.m, but it's really 7 o'clock at night. What the fuck?
I know.
Daylight savings time.
It's great. I love saving daylight. Save the daylight. All right. We'll catch you next week at a different time. I can tell you that for sure.
Good day, sir.
Good day to you.